Morning, everybody. Starting off here today, my timber. Hot, sweaty day here in Missouri. But thankful we had a rain. We had a hell of a rain, almost 4 inches. Night before last. Yesterday morning, matter of fact, it woke me up. Starting off here in my timber. Apologize again if I make you all dizzy, but I wanted to show you the truth about food plots. Been up here working. To tell you something, there's nothing easy or cheap about a quality food plot. But taking a little tour. There's some of my timber back here. Mature, for the most part, mature timber, because couldn't get the machines in here to log this. Obviously, over the years, a couple creeks in here, and matter of fact, look at this. So much rain, actually have water standing in them. But it was so dry. Flip this back around. You can see off to my. This is coming in from the west to my clover plot. Clover plot, and eventually orchard. Apples and Japanese persimmons up here. Let's walk. Hopefully that's showing up. This is deer. I did not do this trail. This is all deer. Come in from the west. And let's show you some truth about food plots. I don't know, the camera's pointing the wrong way, but hopefully you can see this. It's been so dry here, and I mean just silly dry. Had a good rain. Do the dates here because I take pictures of my gauge, is why I remember it. Like the 21st of May. Before that, it was dry for 2-3 weeks. 21st of May, we had 1 inch and 1/10, something like that. Then it was dry, bone dry, and just hot as hell. And I mean 90-some degrees. Hottest May in record, by the way. Here in Missouri, we crushed a record by almost 3 degrees for the hottest May. Well, so 90 degree plus, 95. And then we didn't have rain May 21st, and then a good rain June 2nd. And then dry as a bone, and I mean dry. Everybody else was getting rain, not me. And I mowed this clover, too, in between there. Because it needed it. And, of course, that's what you get. No rain. I don't know how farmers do it. Nothing but respect for them. Can you imagine your life on the line? You borrow that money to plant crops every spring and rely on the weather. Well, then we had a good rain, and I mean almost 4 inches. 3 7/10 inch rain the other morning overnight. Woke me up. It was awesome. And, of course, some of this clover had a little sprinkle yesterday. I mean, a little sprinkle. Didn't even really register in my gauge, but clover was wet and matted down. So that's why it doesn't look as good as normal. But typically, most everything you can see in this plot that's tall, that's sticking up over that clover, there's some weeds in here, but very few, which I'm going to spray again. And I'd spray today, but it's supposed to have rain blow up anytime. Look at that. Look at the sky. Yeah. Well, I'm not complaining. I'm happy to have the rain. But I'll get on these weeds again with Slay and Arrest Max. I'll do it again. I'll tell you what, I really handled the grass this year. So pleased with that chemical. That's what happens when you read directions and do it correctly. But you see my little sprayer. Most of this tall stuff in this plot, see it wilting over there? Most of this stuff, believe it or not, it's brush off the stumps. There's so much energy in those roots. It just sends up runners and suckers, you know. Sends them up and tries to grow. And I tell you, the hardest things to kill, at least for me, believe it or not, it's walnuts. If I ever do this again, ever do another plot in my life, I'm going to get a machine, either a big skid steer or run a dozer, and get rid of everything. And I mean push these stumps, get rid of the trees. No stumps. But I wanted to do this one by hand, and I'll tell you, it's worked out, but a little more work for me. But you see my sprayer? I use, let's walk over and show you this. Look at look at my apples. Some of these have been in the ground now. This is their second summer. Today's June 21st, first day of summer. This is the second season for these in the ground. Pretty awesome. I'll have apples here in a year or two. And all the others, there's 9 original trees up here. Most of the others I planted again, and then this all the way down the hill. Planted them in March, into March. These original 9 up here have been fertilized, and I just sprayed for Japanese beetles. I'll tell you, it's just a battle. But let me show you. You see my sprayer? I put the greatest chemical I've ever used. So you sprayed that today. You're done. See that? Sprayed that 2 days ago, I think. Came up here. And I pumped that sprayer. I mean, one pump, no pressure at all in that sprayer. And I stand over this thing with a wand and just dribble it. You see, I killed some of that clover, but it'll all come back. And it's just wet, and some of this is me walking through. But I'm really happy up here, considering it's been so dry. I cultivated, bought a cultivator, cultivated some of the bare spots, and it's all coming in. It's going to be nice. But you look out over that, you see the tall stuff sticking up. That's all brush. You know, volunteer brush, sap trees, or off these damn stumps. Yeah, there's a stump in there. But I've sprayed it all. You see that? That's hurting. But I just dribble that Crossbow chemical, 2,4-D, and I don't know the other one, 2 chemicals in it. It's by far the greatest chemical I've ever used in my life for woody brush. You touch it with it, it's dead. And a gallon, I don't know what it cost it. My co-op MFA, 50 bucks for a gallon, but I tell you, mix that 4 ounces per gallon of water. It goes a long way. I mean, it'll last me over a year. You know, if you figure, I don't even know, do the math, $1.50 a sprayer? Pretty cheap. Pretty cheap. But all this has been sprayed. Everything told. Let me show you some more. I hope that's recording. See that? Hurting dead. Happy. See this? Dead. So what I'll do, I'll come up here, I don't know, maybe next week, and I'll spray everything. I'll spray the whole plot, which is essentially, call it 17,000 square foot. Whitetail Institute clover. I'll spray this whole plot again with, got a nice, what's a 3-gallon pump sprayer, hand sprayer. And I can do most of the plot, I don't know, 2 sprayer fulls, and put it on. I mix it correctly, but I put it on. I make sure I get it. And then I'll let it sit for a few days, and I'll come up here and mow this again. But it'll look good. Look at that. That's what Crossbow chemical does. Yeah, you're done. Let's flip this back around. Sorry, everybody. Yeah, I'm happy up here. Control the brush and the weeds. It's so much better than last year. I mean, you just, you have to work at it. You have to do it. There's no shortcuts. You know, I see these guys on some of these forums online, and they're trying to, you know, how can I water down my chemical and, you know, save $10? Those are the guys, you know what? That's the reason we have Roundup resistant weeds. Guys like that. Don't be that damn cheap. Spend the money and then read the directions and put it on right. Spin this back around. You see that? Look at that. Hardly any weeds. A few. But the tall stuff is all that brush suckers coming up off those stumps. But I got them. Look at that. And if I can stay ahead of these Japanese beetles, these apples will do fine. They're doing fine. And I'm happy. These original trees up here, there's 9 of them. Original trees here in the center have all been fertilized. I spent the money on that. A quality time release, I think it's temperature, releases the fertilizer. So you can't burn the trees, you put it on right. And I'll tell you what, my goal is to just, I don't have a whole lot of ground here. It's not like I have 400 acres. Don't have a whole lot of ground. I'm just trying to make this as best I can do, possibly do for wildlife. Not just deer. Of course, I killed some deer up here last year, and it was the first season. First year I owned this. And I killed some deer, but that's not what it's about. This is really for my kids. The apple trees, for me and the deer. I mean, we're going to make cider and apple butter, and I love apples. But this is going to be a wildlife paradise. I watch rabbits in here eating this clover. I can't say enough good things either about Whitetail Institute. They've helped me so much. I had a question, I called down there, they helped me. You know, especially mixing that chemical, because, you know, I can't be bothered to do it properly the first time, but I learned. Chemical's expensive, but you do get what you pay for. Look at that. You don't see many weeds. This is all brush, and that chemical, the Slay and the Rest Max, doesn't work on brush. But I'll tell you what, sure as hell the Crossbow does. I mean, look at it. This thing's nice. Let this all, and I'll spray this again, probably next week, and then mow it. Again, it'll be a second mowing. And I'm telling you, last year was the first year for this. Planted this plot March, I don't know, 13th, 2017. Just dirt up here, bare dirt. And I had, over the winter, into November, December, and everything wilted down. You know, it finally got cold in Missouri. Everything wilted down. And this is true. You could not walk 20, 25 feet any direction in this plot this small 17,000 square foot plot without stepping on deer poop. I couldn't even tell you how many deer I saw up here. What a blessing. I take my kids hunting, and I don't think kids need to kill deer, but they need to see them. You want to start hunters, start them out, they need to see deer. So there's some more stuff I'm going to spray. Just a few bare spots, but look at this. This was all bare. Look at that clover coming in. I cultivated this spring. See this? I'll show you that. You see that? That is a walnut. See the stump? These damn things, hard to kill, but I sprayed them. You know, it's hurting. I'll get them eventually. And this brush here, I just lined up. When I cleared the plot, it was easier, typical lazy. Cleared it all by hand, but I drug all my brush down and piled it up. I wanted a visual screen for these deer so they felt safe in here. Of course, it's wilted down and settled down some, but I mean, when the time comes, I might light it up. But for now, it's good for the rabbits, our wildlife. And you see that? Believe it or not, that's a bat box. Bought a bat house and put it up. I watch bats every night here, feasting on these bugs. My dusk to dawn. And I can stand out here and I've never been bitten by a mosquito here. And there's a lake, a huge lake just below, I don't know, 400 yards probably. And another farm pond, 200-300 yards this way. I don't have any mosquitoes, which is a good thing. You see all my trees, these were all planted. See that waving in the wind? You can see it, that's a Japanese beetle trap, and I fought long and hard about getting one of those beetle traps. You know, it's a pheromone. I think it's a sex pheromone. It tracks them. But I had beetles, when I was hanging that the other day, I had beetles hitting me in the hands when I was trying to hang it. I'm telling you, it works. And then I dumped it yesterday morning. I'd been up one day, and I had half a coffee can, half of a Folgers can full of beetles. And am I attracting them? I don't know. What I know is the damn beetles are here. They're here anyway. So that in that coffee can, there's half a can full. I don't know how many. Hundreds of beetles that will not get to feast on my apples or my persimmons. So I'm gonna keep it up. Japanese beetle season in Missouri is a month and a half, 2 months. This time of year, June, everything's late. June till, I don't know, end of July. Let me show you this. You know what that is? This hillside, my whole place here is covered in this. You know what that is? It's a wild grape. Wild grapes. They're hanging in the trees. There's some that I let live. Wild grapes, and they're hard to kill, but they've all been sprayed. So they just keep, you know, there's a huge tap root on those things. And they vine. So yeah, this was all bare this spring, and there's some weed issues in it. But look at that clover. Take care of these weeds, and I will take care of these weeds, and that clover, it'll choke everything out eventually. It just takes time. Have a good plot. It takes work, money, and some time. But I'm happy. Look at this. This is the truth about food plots. Not all beautiful out of a box. If they were, hell, everybody'd have one. But I'm happy for me. Let's get in the shade. Happy for me. Here. This was all brush and trees. All the tops of these trees in here were tied together with grapevines, and a lot of work. I'm proud of it. I'm really proud of my apples. I don't know now. There's more trees coming. I'm planting apples all the way down below here, all the way heading east down below us. I don't know. You can put, I think it's 108 trees in an acre at 20-foot spacing, somewhere in there. And I'm gonna come close to it. I just want the apples. You know, I don't have 1,000 acres of ground and combines. I can't farm, but I can do this. So it's gonna turn out nice. And I'll give you an update eventually, but Whitetail Institute, quality products, quality. And I have another half-acre bag of Fusion, which is this whitetail clover and chicory. I'm gonna burn everything down below, burn it with chemical, probably in August, and plant some. Just to help wildlife. So thanks everybody. Sorry I rambled, but this is the truth about food plots. You'll get there. You just got to spend the time and some money and do the work. So, maybe we'll continue to get some more rain. This thing will only get better and better. I tell you, deer sure love this. Never seen anything like it. I mean, they'll eat these. It's not ag clover. Ag clover, they can't. Of course, deer eat the leaves on ag clover, cow clover, you know. But they won't eat the stems. It's too brushy. They can't digest it. But these stems, these deer, they just love it. So, all right, everybody. Stay cool out there. First day of summer. Maybe be cooler than it has been here. It's just been silly. We had 11 days here in the over 90 degrees. So, all right. Thanks, everybody. Sorry I rambled. And we'll do some more updates later.